tolerance, equanimity, faithfulness, knowledge, absence of sense enjoyment, leadership, chivalry, influence, power to make everything possible, the discharge of proper duty, complete independence, dexterity, fullness of all beauty, serenity, kind-heartedness, ingenuity, gentility, magnanimation, perfection in all knowledge, proper execution, possession of all objects of enjoyment, joyfulness, immovability, fidelity, fame, worship, pridelessness, being as a personality of Godhead, eternity, and many other transcendental qualities which are eternally present and never to be separated from him. The personality of Godhead, reservoir of all goodness and beauty, Lord Sri Krishna, has now closed his transcendental pastimes on the face of the earth. In his absence, the age of Kali has spread its influence everywhere, so I am sorry to see this condition of existence.
I am thinking about myself also, O best among the demigods, about you as well as about all the demigods, sages, denizens of Loka, devotees of the Lord, and all men obedient to the system of Varna and Ashrama in human society.
Are you familiar with that at all, Bruce, for an ashram? It'll probably take a little while to understand exactly what it means, but briefly, it divides society into four religious orders, four spiritual orders, and four social orders. The social orders are Brahmin, the intellectual priestly caste; Kshatriya, the administrative warrior caste; Vaishya, the mercantile agricultural class; and Sudras, the labor or working class. And the four spiritual orders are Brahmachari, which is student celibate life; Grihastha, which is householder life; Varnaprastha, which is retired life; and Sannyas, which is renounced life. ISKCON went through three changes with this Varnashram. In the beginning, it was just sing, dance, chant Hare Krishna, Lord Chaitanya's movement. And then in the second stage, we were seeing that most people couldn't take to Krishna consciousness or just really weren't that interested. So they need Varnashram. And in the third stage, we were seeing many people were coming, serving very enthusiastically, and then having difficulty or going away. No, we need Varnashram. So at least as early as 1974, Prabhupada was writing letters. It's in the Shikshamrita under Varnashram, the importance of, and he was saying, now that we are trying to divide our society into four divisions, it is not necessary to give everyone second initiation after 1 year. Be very careful to whom you recommend me for second initiation. He says that several times. And then the last letter on the topic in 1975, he says, now that we are trying to divide our society into four divisions, there's no need to give everyone second initiation, period. Be careful about who you recommend to me for second initiation. The first initiation is the Harinam initiation into the Hare Krishna mantra. And there's a book put out by the BBT called Spiritual Master and Disciple. We used to have it in the Bhakti House Library. I don't know if it's still there. But towards the end of the book, there was a quote by Jiva Goswami where he said it's not absolutely necessary to take second initiation. The Maha Mantra, according to Tachananda in his Gayatri book, the Maha Mantra is powerful enough to award the highest result, Krishna Prem, all by itself. And there's no qualification necessary to begin the chanting. And he says that the Gayatri Mantra, although you have to be qualified to chant, it by itself is not powerful enough to give us Krishna Prem. So why do we chant it? We chant it because it helps us chant Hare Krishna. So we need all the help we can give. It's not necessary if we achieve the ultimate goal and go back to Godhead. these designations are here. Vaishnava is above all the Varnashram designations. The Vaishnava is better than a Brahmin, but the designations have to be there for peace and order in society. So this in chapter 4, verse 13 in the Bhagavad Gita, Krishna proclaims he created this division according to the three modes of material nature. So they're not artificial, they're there whether we recognize them or not. And it's one of the reasons there's so much chaos is because everybody's basically Sudra. We're acting like Sudra. Anyone can raise themselves to the level of a Brahmin by proper guidance. Another thing this may be helpful with is the LGBTQ community, which every religion in the world and every culture in the world is wrestling with this problem right now. So maybe we can give them first initiation. It's all open for debate. But in Bhakti Tirtha Maharaj's book, Transforming Lust into Love, he says in the Vedic culture there was a third sex. He didn't elaborate on what that is, but he said they were celibate and their presence was considered very auspicious. Auspicious means suitable for success. So of course, if they want to remain celibate, then they can take second initiation and be our leaders. It may also be a way to deal with some of the more conservative interpretations of the illicit sex principle in ISKCON. It's not a make or breaker for me, and I'm, I don't have to worry about it. I'm glad I don't have to worry about it. Okay. I guess go on.
Lakshmiji, the goddess of fortune, whose glance of grace was sought by demigods like Brahma, and for whom they surrendered many a day unto the personality of Godhead, gave up her own abode in the forest of lotus flowers and engaged herself in the service of the lotus feet of the Lord. I was endowed with specific powers to supersede the fortune of all the three planetary systems by being decorated with the impressions of the flag, thunderbolt, elephant driving rod, and lotus flower, which are signs of the lotus feet of the Lord. But at the end, when I felt I was so fortunate, the Lord left me.
O personality of religion, I was greatly overburdened by the undue military phalanx arranged by atheistic kings, and I was relieved by the grace of the personality of Godhead. Similarly, you are also in a distressed condition, weakened by your standing strength, and thus he also incarnated by his internal energy in the family of the Yarus to relieve you.
Two more verses in this chapter.
Who therefore can tolerate the pangs of separation from the Supreme Personality of Godhead? He could conquer the gravity and passionate wrath of his sweethearts like Satyabhama by his sweet smile of love, pleasing glance, and hearty appeals. When he traversed my earth's surface, I would be immersed in the dust of his lotus feet, and thus would be sumptuously covered with grass, which appeared like hair standing on me out of pleasure.
While the earth and the personality of religion were thus engaged in conversation, the saintly King Parikshit reached the shore of the Saraswati River, which flowed towards the east.
Okay, text 25 is the text for today. So we'll go back to text 25. I didn't really practice the Sanskrit, so maybe somebody else can want to say that for me.
Mayuvacha Maniveda Tatsarvam Yatmam Dharmanu Prichyasi Chaturpir Vartaseyena Madar Loka Sukhavahai Maniveda Tatsarvam Vrikshasi Chaturbhirvartase Yena Madar Loka Sukhavahai Maniveda Tatsarvam
Yamam Dharmanu Vrijasi
Yamam Dharmanu Vrikshasi
Chaturbhir Vartase Yena
Chaturbhirvartase Yena
Ade Loka Sukhavahai
Madar Loka Sukhavahai
Dharnivacha
Dharnivacha
Avaniveda Tatsarvam
Maniveda Tatsarvam
Yanman Dharmanu Vikshasi
Yamam Dharmanu Vrikshasi
Chaturbhirvartase Yena
Chaturbhirvartase Yena
Adaloka Sukhavahai
Madar Loka Sukhavahai
Dharnivacha
Dharnivacha
Bhavanhi Veda Tatsarvam
Bhavaniveda Tatsarvam
Yanman Dharmanu Vikshasi
Yamam Dharmanu Vrikshasi
Chaturbhirvartase Yena
Chaturbhirvartase Yena
Adaloka Sukhavahai
Madar Loka Sukhavahai
Word for word, together.
Dharnivacha Mother Earth replied, Brahman, your good self, peace, certainty, Veda, no, Tatsarvam, all that you have acquired from me, Yat, that, Mam, from me, Dharma, O personality of religious principles, Anukrishasi, you have acquired one after another, Chaturthi, by four, Vartase, you exist, Yena, by which, Padai, by the legs, Loka, in each and every planet, Sukha, Avahai, increasing their happiness.
Okay, I never did the invocation. We can do those verses too. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayan, together. Narayan Namaskritya Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudiraye Nastapayeshu Bhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Tamashloke Bhakti Bhakti Naistiki. Translations.
One should offer respectful obeisances unto the personality of Godhead Narayan, unto Narayan Rishi, the supermost human being, unto Mother Saraswati, the goddess of learning, and unto Shuddhas, the Lord. By regular attendance in classes of the Bhagavatam, and by rendering of service to the pure devotee, all that is troublesome to the heart is almost completely destroyed, and loving service unto the personality of Godhead, who is praised with transcendental songs, is established as the pure gold fact.
Okay, so someone can read the translation, somebody else the purport. It's a real short purport, just one paragraph.
The earthly deity in the form of a cow thus replied to the personality of religious principles in the form of a bull. O Dharma, whatever you have inquired from me shall be known to you. I shall try to reply to all those questions. Once you too were maintained by your 4 legs, and you increased happiness all over the universe by the mercy of the Lord.
The principles of religion are laid down by the Lord himself, and the executor of such laws is Dharma Raja or Yama Raja. Such principles work fully in the age of Satya Yuga. In the Treta Yuga, they are reduced by a fraction of 1/4. In the Dvapara Yuga, they are reduced to 1/2. And in the Kali Yuga, they are reduced to 1/4, gradually diminishing to the 0 point, and then devastation takes place. Happiness in the world depends proportionately on the maintenance of the religious principles, individually or collectively. The best part of valor is to maintain the principles despite all kinds of odds. Thus, one can be happy during the span of life and ultimately return to Godhead.
And that's really about all I have to say. Chanting Hare Krishna is for everyone. No one is barred from chanting Hare Krishna. Butchers, bartenders, death row inmates, chanting Hare Krishna is for everyone. Everyone can make spiritual advancement. Krishna is within the heart of everyone. It's not an artificial state. We all have dormant love of Krishna in our hearts.